जाने सन कच्चे राह लम्बना ने जेरे हर दूए साल रुड़ी जाने सन कस गजने बड़े विच जेरे मिट्टी नाल अटन जाने सन अट्ट उच्चे मंदरे जेरे टेई पैने सन जिवियां डाडियां पलियां जेरियां बदलां नाल रुड़ी जानियां सन बन्ना डूंगियां डूंगियां जेरियां कटनियां पैनियां सन बूटे उच्चे लम्मे जेरे कूंडने पैने सन अपने बेड़े अपनियां बाड़ियां जिन्हें सामने जोगियां परदेसियों की आले मारदियां वो बोलने कोई नहीं पर सास मार डिजाइन नवे फैशन बखला खाना नवियां जगह मशहूर लोग बनाना कोई गल जिस तू लोग मुतासर हो सन जे लोग दो घड़ी मुतासर हो सन तो फिर क्या हो सी so it says new trends.
Thanks to all the people who donated to my charity today. I think that's one of the biggest charity money that I've received so far. And mashallah, alhamdulillah, all credit goes to all of you sitting in this room. I know, like we said again, it's a Kashmiri day. But Kashmiri day, the thought of the people of my borough, in my ward, actually sitting in Central, who's actually organized all this. From me, from bottom of my heart, other councillor and my colleagues as well, I think will say shukriya and thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
I remember the plants. My apologies, I'm not going to translate this. I don't know the names of all of these plants and roots and berries that I'm talking about in English. But it says, but I hope you'll enjoy the rhythm of it. So it says, Miki Bute Yadishane. Piplethale Pevi Pin, Poponi Vanipur, Sri Ani Cham, the Peri Yale. तूतरे तू डालनिया बुलबुला सवेरे सवेरे मेजा ना और सेट अपनी लसानी टाली ना बैरानी ना पड़ियां गद्दा शामी एले गरंदे चुनना पैना ते सेलियां नाल स्कूलों बाद गंगेर खानी शौका नाल गलोट कटना सागने विच तकरीने फुल अंडियार चरंदलियां करेलियार लसूड़े मामू ने करूं चारे विच लद्दे वे तूतरे नानी ने कार वो छछड़े ने सोने मालते फुल कस्से को वो कल्ली फलाई पहले विच वो किकर राह विच मिकी बूटे सहन नहीं लेने जिला वाह चुलनी है स्ने बेचने कदू कारज से असा जीकनियां मौतां होई गियां तो कदू मुड़से मैं पासा मार पर रखी खुली थैंक यू मुरीदा दरवाजे पर गेट लगे सी जंदरा बंद सी मैं कंधा को ऊपर चढ़ी जा आई सा जिस बेड़े की दो बाड़ी दिहाड़ी बाड़ी मारने सा उते हर कोने में मिट्टी गठी हुई सी दूध सुकी गया है सरी भजे है मिर्चों की लोड़िया सी यार अंदर पर छतियां ने पांडे बक्सियां विच सन ते खटानियां चादरां पर दूर सी मैं कोठे पर भी लोड़िया सी हर जिथे सोना पुत दफन किया सी उथे गई सा तुसा कौन उस बोले मैं हालिया अपनी कड़ूंगी आई जमी की याद करे जिले बड़े आई चार टच्छे कस चढ़िया मिकी याद करे जिले पायरा ने दियो सिट्टे पुंडियो ते खुमा तरकियां मिकी याद करे जिले तारा चढ़िया ते फसलां रायो तगड़े दांदे नी जोड़ी नाल मिकी याद करे जिले आड़ जेच मुड़े ते खूह सुकी गया ते पानी नी खूही पर लगी बाड़ी मिकी याद करे जिले चंद चढ़िया ते सैनियां बटियो ते कंध पक्की जिले ईद आई मिकी याद करे जिले छत चोया जिले अट्ट टट्ठा जिले बाड़ी रुड़ी मिकी याद करे जिले गड़ी लायो जिले नवे घड़े आए जिले लुंग कप्पियो जिले पलियार दित्तियो मिकी याद करे जिला धोती कुर्ते आला कोई दिसिया जिला मराजे की बदियो पगड़ी जिला शीशा पीती ओके चूं ते चिलम नमी लाई मिकी याद करे जिला नंगे भुलियां कबरां कोलू ते ना पढ़न ना होई का विचू जिला टट्ठे वे कोठे तके ते हाब रुले वे लगे पेड़े विच मिकी याद करे मैं कभी कभी सोचती हूँ मेरे दिल बेकरार को आहे क्या चाहिए आंखें बंद करूंगा तो नजर आता है ये मुझे रात गहरी स्याह चाहिए तारों से बड़ा हुआ आसमान चाहिए, चांद तो लाजिम है पर चौदहवीं का चाहिए। चांदनी में सामने वाली पहाड़ी पर खरगोश और लूमड़ भी दिखाई देना चाहिए। सुबह के तारे के साथ दादी के उठाने की आवाज चाहिए। तारों में पतंग ढूंढने के लिए बहनों का साथ चाहिए। रमजान में सहरी को बाजरा और दही चाहिए। बरसात में मकई का पराठा नानी के हाथ का चाहिए। शब बरात के गोलू के मुकाबले के लिए कजन एक एक वही चाहिए। ईद पे जूस मिठाई और झूला बड़े मामू से चाहिए। गंदम दाल और तिली अपने ही खेत की चाहिए। हर रोटी पे मक्खन और ताज़ा दूध के साथ चाहिए। पानी यख ठंडा अपने ही कुएं का चाहिए। मैं किसान का खून हूँ, मुझे अपनी जमीन चाहिए। मैं कश्मीरी हूँ, मुझे कश्मीर चाहिए।
Kashmiri t-shirt. We are going to raffle this one. What shall we auction it? Which one shall we do? Shall we auction this one? Right. We're going to auction this one. The kids we're auctioning this wonderful t-shirt for Kashmir. Starting from £10. Anybody give us £10 for this? So 1, 2, 3, £15. Anybody more than that? Anybody more than 15? I've got 2 people for 15 here. 20? £20. Anybody more than that? T-shirt, Kashmiri t-shirt. Anybody £20? More than £20? £25? Anybody? Somebody paid £25. Anybody more than that? £30? ये कश्मीर के लिए है, कश्मीर का टी-शर्ट है, इतना सस्ते में जाने दो, बोल दिया और ऊपर करो। Anybody £30? Anyone? Deputy sir, £25 1, £25 2 is going. The deputy leader taking it. Hello, yeah. Give the children a round of applause, please, for helping me. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I'll take it for 30.
Sorry?
I'll take it for 30.
आपके ऑप्शन खत्म हो गया, 30 pounds का कैसे लेगा? I found a key here, it's a BMW car key. I'm not auctioning this off.
£5.
Somebody is missing here, I lost the keys. Anybody knows whose keys it is? Anybody lost the keys?
Last days of leaving your home. I wrote this for my mum and for my mother-in-law. They often talk about the last day when they're left home, and they talk about how they took all the crockery down, packed it away, all the different things they talk about. And because we were farmers, I tried to incorporate in the next 2 poems as many things about land and farming as I can, because I'm conscious that, especially our younger generation, if I say to them, get me a kurpa, they're going to really look at my face and say, possibly kopa, but definitely not going to have a clue what kurpa is. So I'll try to put in as many of those words that those of you here from my generation are going to be able to understand. So says, Jila kaar chhodiya si. Jila kaar chhodiya si. कलेजा फटने वास्ते सिर्फ शराब नहीं चाहिए होना। जिला पांडे 36 पर लाई ते 22 संदूके विच। जिला पांडे 36 पर लाई ते 22 संदूके विच। दलियां खंदलियां तलैना ते रज़ाइयां बाइयां सन जिला पेटी विच। चादरां खलियारियां सन आखरी वारी। चादरां खलियारियां सन आखरी वारी। रंगा ने पाया ले पलंगा पर। आग पंजाली खुरपे दराटी ते कुआरी लाए सन कोठी नी कंधा नाल। सेलियां खोली ते गिले पू जिला बाइयां सन पीपे विच। कोला चू कणक ते कुनियां चू बीज जिला बंडी छोड़िया सी। कोला चू कणक ते कुनियां चू बीज जिला बंडी छोड़िया सी। बेरा जिला माला चू खाली सी। चाचे जिला सफा बनी ते बक्सा रखिया सी सिरै पर। तसरिए इथों उठी ते पुत्ता टूरी प्यासी मारे नाल कलेजा उलारी बटिया सी। So I'll give you the translation. I'll give you the translation of this in English. So it says, when we left home, It's not only wine that bursts the liver. It's not only wine that bursts the liver. When we took the china off the shelves and placed it into boxes, when we put dalinga and duvets into metal containers, when we spread out the bedspreads for the last time on plans with colourful patterned legs, when we leaned Hal Punjabi Kurpedrati and the axe against the wall of the storage room, when we undid the ropes from the kille and put them away in the pipa, when we gave away the last wheat from the gall and shared out seeds of generations. Seeds mattered a lot in our community. You'd starve, but you never gave your seed away because you're going to need it for next season. But when you were leaving the country, you gave out your last bit of seeds that you'd held for all the generations of your family. And shared out the seeds of generations when the yard was empty of any animal. When Uncle fastened his safa and lifted the suitcase onto his head, and the dog got up from under the tree and began walking alongside me, my liver was shred into pieces then too. Thanks.
So Dalla kindly invited me along tonight. He never said he was going to ask me to get up and speak to you all. Typical.
They wouldn't be surprised then, would they?
So a few weeks ago, I went into a meeting with Dalla to talk about a meeting that we had coming up. And in that meeting, Dalla was talking about, we sort of finished what we were talking about, and Dalla was talking about how passionate he felt about being able to do something to help people and help people affected by the floods. Dalla said he was going to go and walk for a week to try and raise money. So we thought, let's not put all the burden on Dalla and think about how can we do something collectively. So we obviously it had to be linked with walking because it was Dalla's, but we wanted to think about how can we, like we were saying, about how do we show solidarity and sort of bring ourselves closer. So we came up with the idea that we would collectively, so the whole borough, to walk the distance between Rochdale and Pakistan, which is 3,852 miles. And we had to sort of set that up really quickly because obviously the nights are getting colder and getting darker quicker. So we needed to be able to do that as quickly as possible. So we're a week in, we've got a 5-week period that we want to try and achieve that in. So we started last Tuesday, and that will run to the end of November. So what we want everybody to do is every time you go out for a walk, every time you kind of walk to the shops, or you go for a walk, or you walk into work, any kind of walking that you're doing, we want you to count those miles. And on the Rochdale Council website there's a link that you can go in. It's really, really simple. You can just go in and put those miles in. So at the end of each week or at the end of every walk, we want to put those miles in, and we'll be able to track how close that we get to Pakistan. But that on its own it brings us together. It makes us think about what we're trying to do and how we're trying to help, but we need the money. So that's what's going to make the real difference. So again, on the council website there's a sponsorship form that you can download. So if you want to be sponsored for doing those miles, then you can download that sponsorship form. But there's also a link so that you can make a donation. So we would really, really plead that you get involved, count those miles so that we can get all the way to Pakistan by the end of the time period, but give as generously as you can so that we can help the people affected by the floods. And as we said before, one of the things that Dalla was really passionate about was that perhaps the region of Kashmir doesn't get the support that other areas in Pakistan were getting, and so it was really important that we supported Kashmir specifically, so working with Kashmir Development Foundation, but then also the Disasters Emergency Committee, which bring together lots of the big charities and coordinate all of that work right across the affected region. So yeah, if I just ask again if you could just donate to those charities. The link, all the information is on the website, and don't forget to clock all your miles. Thank you.
Aksa Nabila ji की जो ब्रैफर्ड थुन वो सारी टीचर भी है, राइटर भी है, उसने एक बुक में उसे रखी है, शायरा भी है. उसने मेन जी चीज़ है वो है कि इंग्लिश तो पहाड़ी दो जो जरा पहाड़ी विच पर्सन इंग्लिश में तर्जमा करते हैं, तो यू विल रियली इंजॉय इट. तो उन्हें मैं आख्या भाई जितने तुम नज़म थियां पढ़ो चुके फूड ब्रेड फूड तो इनिशी एक्सीडेंट है तो नाच फंसे होना जैसे इतने ही हो जितना नबी पढ़ो नबी ना
We set off at 5 o'clock. It's the longest trip to Rochelle ever. I'm going to share a couple of poems with you. I'm going to start off with one in English, however, and then I'll alternate between languages. Thank you. And obviously I'm really close to the ground, so the mic always has to come to kind of follow me. I'm going to start off with a poem. It's called Kashmiri Mum's Plea. I wrote it on 5th of August 2018, after a few things changed in Kashmir. I have 2 teenage boys, one Kashmiri, and I always wonder, if I lived in Kashmir, what would it be like? So this poem is called A Kashmiri Mum's Plea. And it says, you went out for prayers. You went out for prayers. You promised you wouldn't join the protests. You went out for prayers. You promised me you wouldn't join the protests. You told me you understood I need you alive. I've sacrificed more than my share. I can't lose you too. That was weeks ago. Please come home now. It says your auntie couldn't, sorry. It's what happens when you buy posh books and they have thick paper. You're not sure if you turned 1 page or 2. It says your auntie couldn't take the tear gas that came through the window. It's nothing new. It's nothing new, but this time it was too much. We buried her a week ago. Your cousins keep asking for their mum. They won't believe she has died. Maybe you will listen. Maybe they will listen to you. Please come home now. Your friends left to search for you. 2 have not returned. They keep saying they're held here, they're held there. They won't let us meet. We don't know if they're alive or dead. We need you to go look for them. Please come home now. So your granddad hasn't eaten. Your grandma keeps rationing her medicine. We ran out of most food days ago. Your sister keeps asking for sweets. The soldiers are ordered to rape. We need you to go to the shops, the chemist. Please come home now. The pellets in your uncle's eyes have caused infection. We can't take him anywhere. This curfew will outlast us, it seems. He bites the towel when he cries with pain. He thinks we don't know. Maybe you could bring the doctor after the Friday prayers. Please come home now. Eid came apparently. It missed us this time. Do you remember the prosperity they were promising us when they changed the law? This Eid was a sample of that. We didn't care anyway. Please come home now. Some say they will crush us. Some say we will be free. Some say we will be used again. Some say we are the next Holocaust, as the next Hitler and the new Germany rise. I don't care anymore. I'll go to hell and stay there willingly if you just come home. Thank you. 3 poems I'm going to share with you. I'll read in Pali and I'll give you the translation in English. These were published in Poetry Birmingham Literature Journal a few months ago. The first one is kind of a set that it covers nostalgia about Kashmir. I lived in Kashmir for 7 years between 85 and 92. I stayed with my grandparents there. We live on top of a hill on a small farm, and I left Bradford and got there and realised we had no electricity, no gas, no water and no road. I absolutely loved it. So this one's called Nani Nagara, and I'm hoping that quite a few of you will be able to relate to it. So it's Nani Nagara. It was Zindagi guzri hai, par Nani Nagara nahi bhulna. O dili o chulla nahi bhulna, apni dipehri kale chumniya, halani roti te taza salan nahi bhulna, o makhan o lassi nahi bhulni, badi halana laaj nahi bhulna. सर्दियों में मामूली मूंगफली ते गर्मियों में जूस नहीं भूलना सरियां नाल बाई भी पींग नहीं भूलनी नानी की कस्सी भी चोट नहीं भूलनी हथां में मेहंदी नहीं गोगी नहीं भूलनी लीरा नाल बनाई हुई गुड़ियां नहीं भूलना भरावां ने दित्तियां स्वीटां दा लाज नहीं भुलना ओ अखबार जहां ओ सारे रसाले नहीं भुलने ओ घड़े न पानी ओ चार नहीं भुलना ओ खुले बेरे ओ बुझिया नहीं छां ओ ईदां ओ दिशूरे ओ शबरातां नहीं भुलनियां जिंदगी गुजरी गई है पर नानी ना उगला नहीं भुलना। I'll translate it for those of you who have no idea what I was on about. So it basically says, my nan's village. And says, life has passed, but I can't forget Nani's village. That village, that Julla, I can't forget. It's basically talking about where we cooked and the place we sat and ate. It's returning from college in the heat of midday to my halal roti and fresh salad. I can't forget. Damakan, that lassi, I can't forget. I can't forget the loving affection of my eldest aunt. The peanuts Mama bought in winter, the mango juice in summer. The swing on the tree, I can't forget, or my nan's tight plate. The round circle of mendi in my palms, the dolls made of rags, the sweets given by my cousin brothers. Those akhbar-e-jahan, the magazines of childhood, I can't forget. The cool water from the gara, that pickle, those open yards, the shades of tree, those Eids, the Shure Brats, I can't forget. Life has moved on, but I can't forget my nan's village. Thank you very much.